Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's James Boat Bill. So on this episode here, we're going to go over the shear lines. I've installed the rub rails alongside of the hull, port and stern, and I want to show you that. If you remember from previous episodes, I had these clamped up, dry fitted, and they were there for approximately 3 weeks over time. And that was to get the initial bend into the rub rails. This is Douglas fir. It's 1x4. Now these all got glued and screwed in. I used PL Premium by Loctite for the construction adhesive. Now it's going to take approximately 7 days for that to cure, where it's actually the strongest. But I wanted to put washers in before I permanently bed it into these screws. This gives it the most hold possible, and that way I didn't need to have any clamps, and I'm not going to like ruin the wood, because this section here is not that bad, but this up here where the curve is, there's a lot of tension. So I wanted to make sure that they the screws had the most surface possible for holding into the wood. It wasn't really necessary, and the clamps are there to be as a safeguard, if you will. I don't think I need them, but it just makes me feel good that they're there until everything cures. Now, if you remember from previous episodes, I had made the sides 3/4 of an inch longer than when I needed to. So when I flipped the boat over, I came back and I used my circular saw and cut a new line, which was close to what I needed, but it wasn't exactly the most even that I should have. Did I do it right? I don't know. Did I screw up? No, not really. But, I had to establish a sweet flowing line. When I talk about the shear line, I'm talking about this top line that you're going to see with the boat. And it needs to be a nice, sweeping, beautiful curve. It's a nice, sweet line, not it going up and down and like a serpent. I mean, it just needed to be established. And what I cut with my saw wasn't exactly, it was okay, but it wasn't perfect. Subsequently, you could see as the board went to the bow, it swept upward and gave me about a 2-inch overlap, which I think I'm going to shave down and build the breast hook up slightly to make it look more presentable. But again, as you can see, I needed to establish a nice basis for a line. And whereas this side has kind of failed a little bit, you could see the starboard side was pretty much flush, and this side needed to come up to look even. And you can see towards the rear here that I shaved down a little bit too much right over there in the corner. That's because I got aggressive with the planer. I probably should have thought this stuff out a little bit better. And I wish Lou, and you know who I'm talking about on YouTube, would have went over his, how he did it. I probably would have followed his lead. But that's okay. I can make up the difference because a piece of plywood's going to go on top. I've got my nice, this is higher than here, and it has a nice slight tilt, so when the water hits, it'll roll off the side of the hull. If you take a look from it dead on, it looks really even. I've measured it. It's almost dead even from starboard to port. And here's another thing I wasn't really thinking all too much about, but it's a minor thing. I got this gap because the shape of the hull curved in more dramatically as it comes into the bow, but this wood couldn't make the turn. So I got probably one finger's worth of gap that's in there. And I'll end up just filling that with foam. I mean, I stuck as much epoxy as I could in there to give it a solid basis. And it is pretty damn solid. But, I have to deal with that gap. I'm just going to buy some foam, some spray-in foam, that great stuff, something that's going to be able to take the moisture, and go over it with some marine compound to give it a flat edge, and then obviously paint it. It's not that big of a deal. It looks good. Now, while I like the way the boat looks in the bow, it does, the rub rail is coming up too high. And subsequently, it's not going to work out. I'm going to have to build up the breast hook and shave some of the bow so I get more of an even flow. This boat is, I'm going to design it with a pulpit, which is basically a board that comes out, and I have a windlass that's going to be installed up here. And this will be the compartment where all the chain and rope will go. Matter of fact, there's my windlass right there by Maxwell. I got a super deal on that from Boatplicity during Christmas time. Just about as much as I've gotten all this stuff from Amazon Warehouse, the used stuff that people return and they sell it again as used items. But 9 times out of 10, it's good stuff. And if you still don't like it, you can return it. Just like this stuff. This was like $60 a roll for this rubber matting, which will be installed on the deck. This is what you'll be walking on. This was $65 a roll. I think I got it for $27 because the boxes are beat up. So I bought 4 rolls of it. That's what my deck's going to look like. And after I have the rub rails and the screws set in and I have it all primed up and painted, I'm going to put this Taco Marine Superflex rub rail kit on there. I got this from Amazon, and I got this for a good song. I mean, I can't open it up just yet, but basically, it's it's an aluminum channel with a rubber rail, so it doesn't screw up the side of your boat. It's a rub rail, which obviously I'm building a wooden rub rail, but I want something on top. So where the boat usually hits the dock, and the price on this was just incredible. I just got lucky. I probably wouldn't have bought it, but it was a $450 item I got for $150. I couldn't say no. Hey, and that's what you got to do, right? I mean, you got to get stuff. I mean, I don't need this stuff right now, but if I've been doing this for like a year, I can anticipate the things that I'm going to need. When it goes on sale, you buy it. Like this Simrad chart planner and depth finder. It's the cheap end version. It's the entry level version. But hey, why not have a chart planner? You can see where you're going. A chart planner is like it is a GPS for boats on waterway. It shows you the depths and the channels that you need to stay in. Gives an added aid when you're out there boating. So also too, with the colder weather, I haven't been able to permanently get the tank in place. I've got the last coat of Village paint in, and I'm just waiting for it to dry. And then I could put the rubber strips, here where it's going to make contact with the tank, and then hose up the tank, so it'll be pretty much out of the way, out of the bow, and go where it belongs. And I can work around it. But that bilge paint is epoxy paint, and it's really what you need for the bilge area because it resists oil and gas, and it won't lift up. It's pretty permanent. It's stuck there forever. So guys, that's it. I mean, that's the shear line of the boat. That's how I established it. I'm going to put the tops on pretty soon. I'll get the tank in to where it's supposed to be. And we're moving right along. If the weather stays good, we'll be all set. Get some more painting done, some more priming, some more building. Got a lot more to build. And that's just it. If you want to see more of this boat build, give us a, subscribe and give us a thumbs up. All right, guys, so that's where we're at. I mean, that's the shear lines, and that's how I accomplished what I did by getting a nice straight edge. Now I just got to work from there and make the top look all nicey nice. I'll show you how I do that later on, but we're going to get the tank in place, and we're going to finish putting that bilge paint in, and that's where we're at right now. So if you like what you're seeing, you see this guy building a boat out of his garage, and consider to subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up. And as always, y'all be good.